Hello, YouTube. Greetings, everyone. What's up, YouTube? This is All Things Quick. So this is my 2008 Ford F-150 crew cab with a 5.4 liter Triton in it, and this is a 4x4. And today's video is all about going out with the old and in with the new. So I have some front brakes and front rotors. I always give my wife and my mom crap for driving their brakes right down to the metal on the pads. So I've went and done the same thing on my truck. So hypocrisy at its finest. Anyways, that's what this video is about today. I'm gonna get the front brakes and rotors changed in this thing because the metal is grinding. Like I said, I can't drive it like that. So had a little bit of maneuvering to get this thing in here because this truck's pretty big and the space is kind of tight in here just because of all of this stuff. But I'm gonna get this thing up in the air and then I'm gonna zip these wheels off and then see what we're actually dealing with. Nice, so there it is. Got the truck up in the air. Better to, you know, double check, triple check your stuff before you actually put it up in the air. This one was just slightly off. I just didn't feel comfortable with that, but it's good to triple check, quadruple check if you have to, just to make sure that you're safe. You're not gonna kill yourself today. Anyways, I'm gonna take those front wheels off and see what's going on here. Also, normally my toes are steel, but today they are slightly less than that with a mild fabric and not steel. So that's interesting. Stupid me, I forgot my stuff. Talking about safety here, I forget my own. It's gonna be one of those days. One of those days. Okay, there's one off. That was a task and a half. Those didn't even feel like they were torqued down very much, so I'm definitely glad that I'm doing this. There we go. Okay, so here's what I'm working with. It sounded like when I was pressing the brake, obviously sounded like it was from the front, or else I wouldn't be doing the front. What I see here, oh yeah, definitely. I can see a ton of scoring here on the rotor. Yeah, all that's all scored in there. So definitely the back pad that's scraping. Sounded like it was coming from this side as well, the driver's side. The rotor's pretty crap. The pads are low, but the front looks like it's still got a little life in it. But either way, the back pad's probably garbage. And then the other side as well doesn't look terrible. But if you do the fronts, or if you do one side of the front, you have to do the other. I'm gonna take both of these off, get those off, and then see what the pads actually look like once they're out. It's always interesting when you're doing one thing and you find something else. Check out that rear main seal that's leaking. Super nice. Yeah. Probably why I lose a little bit of oil. Also, I think it's burning, but either way. All right, so that is off. Stick that up in here. People say, and they freak out about it, they say you should never hang your caliper from the line, which, like, I agree if they're heavy like this, but if you're working on some little Kia or something, like, what the heck, who cares? All right, nothing is seized, that's good news. Rotor's loose, that's even better news. Ugh. Okay, so that came off extremely easy. I'm just hoping that the other side's gonna be as friendly. Yeah, everything looks good. All right, now this is the driver's side. That pin doesn't seem like it wants to move, so I'm gonna take them out and lube them up anyways. Oh yeah, check this out. You can definitely tell that this is bad, because look at here. You'll see like that it's magnetic at the end, and those are all the metal chips from all the brakes grinding on the rotors and the metals. So that's a real good indicator that it's not good. Even if you didn't see the scoring on the rotor itself, that shouldn't be happening like that. All right, that's number 2 off. Set that aside. We'll deal with those after. Yeah, this pad right here, I can see right away. That's right on metal. That confirms my suspicion because even before, when I was driving, I could hear that. I'll take this caliper bracket off and then we'll actually see how bad it is. It's really bad. I actually feel bad for, like, you know, saying what I said to my mom and my wife, like, you can't grind it down to bare metal or else you're gonna end up seizing your caliper and then it's more work for me to do. And then here I go doing the same crap. But at least we caught all of them in time. Caught my mom's car, caught my wife's, and obviously I could hear this and caught that. So thing is a lot of people don't actually know what they're hearing. So they're like, oh, it's a scraping sound and I don't know what it is. Not realizing how bad it could actually be if your caliper seizes up. You could blow your brake line and lose all your fluid and crash your car. You could seize your entire wheel. You can see videos of like people like that on the highway where they're scraping their wheel along the ground because they've seized up their caliper and then they just roll through their rim. And we're not trying to do all that extra. Alright, so we're going to have a quick look at what's actually going on here. So this is the driver's side and this is the passenger side. And so what we have here is a specimen like no other. This driver's side here has been grinded right down to the metal. Take this inner pad out. Like I said, I can see a lot of scoring on the inner side. So that's right completely down to metal. So that's what I was hearing. And any bit further, like once you get past the pad portion, it's only a matter of time before your caliper actually seizes up. So that one's complete trash. It's garbage. The outer pad still had about maybe, I don't know, maybe 20% left on it. But you know, when one goes, you have to replace everything, obviously. The outer portion of this has a little bit of scoring that you can see. I don't know if you can see that well on camera, but has some scoring. But the back side is just pretty phenomenal, if you ask me. Anyways, this thing has a deep groove. You can see actually the groove right here where it's started to dig into the metal. And yeah, so like I said, just a matter of time before that would have seized right up. Passenger side is not as bad. The back side's actually good, just very mild scoring, maybe 3 or 4 mildly deep ones. And the front isn't bad. Pads themselves have about 20% on them and maybe 20 to 25% on them, but still one side has to be done, so the other side has to as well. So we'll get these grinded down. We'll open this box right here. These are mid-grade pads. I don't necessarily go with the, you know, high-end pads because they all kind of wear down the same in my opinion, or very similar. So these are mid-grade pads, so you can tell the difference. Let's just say this one is the one that was grinded down and it's about as thick as the metal plate on the outside, and this is 100% life. So even the ones that were not too bad, like I said, it's about 20% or so. So still not good, but we got new ones, so that's good news. All right, so let's get these guys opened here. That's the coated rotors, and the coated ones are a lot better than the painted in my opinion. They don't rust out like the painted ones do. So we're gonna get these on the truck, but first we're gonna grind these down, lube up the pins. It's like this one here, I was saying it was struggling to move. Clean all that up first and then get these back together. All right, so you guys know how clean I keep my shop all the time. I'm using someone else's shop right now for the hoist and finding it slightly difficult to navigate around everything because it's not my stuff. So I just cleaned up these pins, and some people get really bent about this, and I don't know why, but using anti-seize instead of like the proper grease on these pins, man, grease is grease, you know? Like as long as it can slide and not seize up, that's all you need. And this grease here is literally made so that things don't seize. What better thing to use than anti-seize? I don't know. So that's what I use, that's what I'm running on this, and haters can hate all they want, but guess what? It's my truck and it's not someone else's car. Who cares? Okay, I'm just gonna grease up this bracket here, and then we'll get those plates on here. Okay, that's one done. All right, that's two done. I'm just gonna toss some anti-seize on the back of the hub here. It's just a little bit of preventative maintenance so that I don't have to do a lot of work next time. Okay, so these are back together now. These didn't have these springs on them before, but these are good to have. So these will always try to eject your brake pads from the rotor as soon as they are released from the piston, so they don't get stuck in any type of weather or condition. It's a good thing that those are on. That just popped off, but the caliper bracket will go over top of it, and then that will keep them together. So it's a good thing to have those, so I am going to add those and keep those on. Okay, now I'm going to take this caliper bracket back down. I'm going to compress these pistons here. Alright, so that's one side completely done, and I just need to zip the wheel back on this thing, and now we're just gonna focus on the other side and do the same thing. I'm gonna compress that caliper and get the bracket back on with the brake pads, and then we're done. Alright, so that's both sides done now, and I just need to bolt on the wheels like I said, and then that should be everything. I was actually going to bleed the brakes because back in the summertime I did a brake line from my reservoir and I didn't bleed the brakes just because I just didn't. So I was going to do that, but I'm not sure. I'm just going to hop up and see if the pedal's tight. If the pedal's not tight, then maybe I'll bleed it, but I don't really care that much because it wasn't bad before, and with new brakes it definitely won't be bad now. So I'm going to jump up, test them, and see. All right. Yeah, no need to do that. Brakes are tight, that's good. Yeah, I'm gonna bolt those wheels on and then we're good to go. Alright, so I'm all done with that. It's just worth noting that I put some anti-seize on the back of the rim here so that next time you saw when I had to take it off with this sledgehammer here, I don't want to have to do that next time. So threw some anti-seize on there, and I didn't film it just because that's a waste of time to film. And done this side. Everything's good with this, so I'm just going to drop this thing down now and she should be good to go. All right, so minus bleeding the brakes, that is how you do the brakes, the front brakes and rotors on a 2008 Ford F-150. That being said, this is the end of the video. If you like that video, definitely hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and let me know down in the comments if you need help with this kind of stuff, or if this video helped you, just let me know. I'd appreciate you guys and your comments. And don't forget to hit us up on our Discord server. The link is in the description. We'll see you in the next one. See you later.